So good. Perfect. So thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Clément Charpaille, and I am Senior Business Manager at TMC Employers Dubai. I would like to thank Jonathan Petit, Regional Director, and all the TMC Dubai office for their support, and obviously Ishtiaq Ahmed, our presenter. So as you know, today we are presenting a webinar focusing on 5G. We will look at potential and reality and the impact on business and life. The webinar presentation is supposed to last 45 minutes, and we will have 15 minutes for question and answer session at the end. I will briefly introduce TMC at the beginning of the webinar. So just before we crack on, just a little housekeeping. Please turn your micro in mute mode, as I said. Also, for the question at the end, if you have any question during the presentation, please write a comment directly on Microsoft Teams. We'll bring your question up after the presentation. If we don't have time to answer your question, we will get back to you after. The webinar will be presented by Ishtiaq Ahmed. Ishtiaq worked more than 19 years for Etisalat, one of the biggest telecom providers in Middle East, Africa, and Asia. He has worked on several 5G pre-launch projects for one of the operators in Saudi Arabia and digital transformation project for Globacom. So before I hand over to him, let me briefly share some information about TMC. I think it will be useful also for you to know. TMC is an international technology consulting company. TMC is a partner who offers the best technological expertise enriched with power skills. As you know, product and processes have become more and more complex, and technology is evolving so fast that today is not economically sustainable anymore for companies to have all their competencies full-time in-house. So what do? They are partnering up with TMC in order to hire the exact technology or expertise they need for the moment and the duration they need it. As such, TMC is operating as an expertise center for its client. We know the need of companies that want to stay ahead. With our unique business model, we create the best possible condition for tech talent so they can add value to ambitious and innovative companies. Let's be clear, we work with engineers for engineers in different sectors, going from telecom, utilities, energy, transportation, infrastructure, financial services, you name it. And Ishtiaq, for us, is a perfect example of the expertise and the entrepreneurial mindset that TMC has to offer. Now, without further ado, I will turn the time over to him, our presenter. Thank you again, Ishtiaq.
Hi, everybody. This is Ishtiaq Ahmed. I hope you can hear me. Clement, my voice is okay, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So first of all, I would like to thank all of you, whoever is here, for being here and giving us the opportunity to share some useful and interesting information about 5G. It's a very light, non-technical presentation, but I'm very sure you are going to enjoy it. I'm also very grateful to TMC and especially to Jonathan and Clement and the whole team from Dubai office who made this possible today. And we're very excited. I hope that you will find this session very interesting and useful to get some ideas and some tips to plan your future strategy for your telecommunication services, other services, and 5G strategy. So today our agenda is basically, we are going to discuss a little bit about telecom industry, how they are performing, what are the high level numbers. Then we will go through the 5G evolution, how mobile and GSM network evolved in last 50 years. Then we will have a look at the 5G ecosystem. There are different players technically and from service perspective. So it will give you a very good idea, and then you can see who will be fitted into it. And then we will have some case studies. Few of them will be discussed because there are many case studies, and we will talk about their deployments and benefits. And at the end, we will talk about the future of 5G in terms of business perspective, what will be the revenue and what benefits will come from the 5G and related services. And as mentioned by Clement, at the end, we will have a conclusion and question and answer session. So please be with us and put your question and everything, and we are going to start it. So the first slide, which you can see now, is basically telecom global market statistics by the end of December 2019. Why we are talking about it? You know, 5G is a service. There are a lot of players, but GSM mobile subscriber or GSM companies and MNOs, they are the main player. They are the one who are going to provide the 5G service to the end users and to the companies. So you can have a look at it, you know, like by the end of 2019, the figure which I'm presenting here is very authentic, and it is taken from GSMA. They are well-known body among telecom service providers and related companies. They are the one who also arranged this Mobile World Congress, unfortunately, which did not happen this year in Barcelona, but every year they do it. So the figure is taken from them. So by the end of 2019, December 2019, from the total population, 67% people were using mobile services, which is very promising, 5.2 billion. And in next 5 years, the 3% increment will be there. And these are unique mobile subscriber. So unique mobile subscriber, if you have 3 or 4 SIM card from different operators, you are still considered as one mobile subscriber. So this is something. So mobile is coming in place of other sources. Then if you look at the mobile internet users, because that is the main thing, 49% of the population is using mobile on internet. So they are moving from Wi-Fi or fixed internet to the mobile internet on move. And 5G is very much dependent on it. And significantly in next 5 years, 12% increment will be there on mobile internet user. 5 billion users will be there on mobile internet. Then if you look at the total SIM connections, because I discussed about unique mobile subscriber, but there are people who are having more than 2-3 connections. So almost the whole population is having SIM card. But of course, in developed countries, the penetration is more than 100%. In few countries, it is 50 and 60%. And there will be increment of 4%. The most interesting figure at the end is the investment. How much investment are going to be made by mobile network operators? So by the end of 2019, it was 1.3 trillion. And there will be increment by in next 5 years, 1.14 trillion. But the most important and significant point is this, that 78% investment will be allocated to 5G, to the new technology. So this is very promising. All the mobile network operator, either today, tomorrow, or after few months or few years, they are going to move from 4G, 3G to 5G networks. Of course, not completely, but slowly they are going to do it. So this is basically, I just wanted to share with you. In my next slide, I'm going to discuss about the mobile network of evolution. This is, you know, as per latest research, people talk about so many invention and so many innovations, but from most of research perspective, the mobile services, mobile handset, and mobile network services are one of the most effective innovation happened in last 5 decades. It has changed our life. It has changed our business style and everything. Look at this gentleman on the left-hand side. He is the father of cellular mobile services. He is the gentleman. We should salute him because he is the one who invented the first mobile phone. He used to work with Motorola. He is 90 plus, still alive, very active, has so many patents in his name. So Martin Cooper is his name, and he invented the first mobile. So we should be thankful to him. But that mobile was not GSM, of course, it was analog. So this slide will give you the idea that how decade by decade, mobile network, mobile handset, the services evolve and changes the whole life and services and everything. So by the 1990s, there was a mobile services available, digital voice, famous Nokia phone. You can have a look at it with SMS and voicemail and graphics on mobile. And then by 2000, GPRS came. If you're from telecom services, you will be remembering that WAP and GPRS and MMS service. But the major change came in last 10 to 15 years when a smartphone started, from BlackBerry to iPhone and Samsung, plus 4G network. So these two technology merged together, and the better and faster data internet came on mobile, as well as LTE and 4.5G came. And then we are now here with 5G. So 5G is basically having few features, which I will discuss in our next slide, which is making it very significant and very different. So this is the overall evolution. You will have an idea that how this network has evolved and evolving, and it is going to evolve further also. Since our topic is 5G, so we will talk about it. So I'm going to the next slide. Clement, my voice is okay, right?
Yes.
Good, good. So just a comparison, because people always talk about it, how 5G is different compared to LTE or 4G. So there are three main features which is making 5G very significant, which is making 5G very different than previous network. So this is just the upgraded version of the mobile network. One thing is latency. So the real-time connectivity. So, if you look at the video, just for your understanding, there is a delay, there is a gap, there is a lapse. That is going to be reduced, and that is going to be almost zero. So that will change the whole perception of connectivity, which will make everything real-time in remote connection. So in 4G or LTE, it is 10 millisecond delay, which is going to be 1 millisecond, and people are claiming that it will be 0 millisecond also. So that is going to make the big difference in connectivity and so many things. And once we will go to the case study, we will be able to see that. Then the connectivity of the devices, because future is basically connectivity between different devices, different services, and different sectors. So with 4G, with LTE, 100,000 connection per kilometer square is possible. But with 5G, 1 million connection, 1 million devices will be connected within per kilometer square. So imagine in one city, then in one sector, in one area, how many devices will be connected with each other to perform different services, to provide you different services. So this is the second feature, density of the devices with so many services, which is the requirement at the time being for services and for the people. And the third, but very important, is the speed of the internet. Right now, we are having 1 Gbps, gigabyte per second. But with the 5G, it will be very fast. The everything will be so quick. And to know that, look at the second slide. I'm just giving the example of the how fast is 5G basically. So with 3G or with 4G, there is a very famous science fiction movie. This is just to give you the idea that how fast is the 5G. Guardians of the Galaxy, you must have seen this movie. So on 4G, it takes 6 minutes to download this movie, but with 5G, it will take 3.6 seconds. So just imagine how 5G going to change the whole internet experience for the end users, for the companies, for the corporate sectors. This is just to give you the idea. Now, in my next slide, we already discussed that 5G is the upgraded version of the GSM network. It has features which was not there earlier. Those three features, how it is going to change the life, how it is going to change the services, how it is going to affect the whole scenario and productivity of companies, of individual users, of corporate sectors. So there are examples, you can have a look at it. Enhanced mobile broadband, which is faster internet. So mobile devices are also going to be changed completely. Samsung has already come with the 5G device. S10 Plus is 5G. Surprisingly, iPhone, Apple has not yet come, but they are also working on it. But there are so many other devices available. Even wearables, watches, and other things are coming also. Then networking will be completely changed. You will be able to watch live football match on your mobile by driving or sitting on the beach because of the fast data speed. Then low latency, which I discussed, the real-time connectivity for your automotive services, for robotics, for health. And in the next slides, we will discuss about it with little bit detail. This slide is giving you the idea that these features going to be implemented where and how it is going to affect. Then massive Internet of Things, IoT, so many devices connected within one place. So it will be low cost, deep coverage, high density, wearables, smart cities, smart homes already started. Even it is started on 4.5G also, but 5G going to make it real without any delay or anything. So if you look at this slide, 5G, 3 key features: fast internet, low latency, and high density coverage of equipment, and massive Internet of Things is going to make it a unifying connectivity solution. So everybody is playing their role into it. So we have discussed about the GSM network data and how they are performing. We also discuss about the 5G, 3 main key features and how the ecosystem is going to work. Let's go into further detail. Clement, my voice is okay, right?
Yes.
Good, good. So I'm just confirming actually. So now we are looking at the very important slides, because everybody will be interested. You would like to know where you are going to be fit into the ecosystem. The beauty about 5G is this, that earlier, most of the GSM network services were completely handled or monopolized by few players only. Who were they? GSM network operators, vendors, software developers, and few other companies. 5G is opening the door for everybody. In this ecosystem, everybody is going to play their role and going to have their share from the revenue, from the business. And this is the beauty of the 5G. It is also, we know about industry revolution. We all know the first industry revolution, from second to third. 5G is considered to be one of the most important part of fourth industry revolution. It is a linchpin in the ecosystem. It is going to handle the whole ecosystem of the 5G. If you look at the right-hand side picture, you can see how many players are there, how many technology players are there. So, IoT. So you are not mobile telecom operator, but maybe you are IoT service provider, or you are IoT device provider. So you are going to play a very important role. You can have your terms and conditions with mobile network operator and can play the role and can get something out of it. Artificial intelligence going to work on smart cities on the back end, all the data and everything. Then augmented reality, virtual reality. We can have a separate session about it, but this is something which is very important in streaming, in live video, in broadcasting. Then robotics. So people who are into robotics, they are going to play their role into it. Then data. So people, companies who are involved in data, they are also going to be the part of it. Then cloud services. So together, technically in the ecosystem, everybody is going to play their role, which is very promising. There should be a separate session on it also. So this is basically from technology perspective. What is about the service perspective? Who are the players? If you look at this slide, you will be surprised. Everybody is the part of this ecosystem. Whoever is sitting in this webinar, even a student or a graduate or someone working as a self-employed or someone working with other companies, they are part of the 5G ecosystem. Someone will ask, how come a student can be the part of it? So if you look at it, the users at the bottom, they are the biggest part of the ecosystem. You are going to use the service and you can be benefited with it. You can start your online training, online services. And if you look at the players, cloud services, they are going to be the part of it because everything will be on the cloud. Then data center collection connectivity, and you can see the big name there, AWS, IBM Cloud. You can look at this CenturyLink. Then content delivery network providers, Microsoft Azure, Limelight, AWS. Google Cloud, everybody is going to play their role, and they are going to be connected with the GSM network operator, Swisscom, Etisalat, Do, Vodafone, because they are providing services. But they cannot provide services if 5G infrastructure is not there. Vendors are not there. So Huawei, ZTE, Ericsson, they are also running after operators to have a billion-dollar contract to deploy 5G. And then it is opening the door for 5G mobile chipset and technologies companies who are making devices, who are making chip for IoT services, for smart cities. And then, of course, mobile device makers. Everybody is thinking how to come up with the new, nice 5G devices. I have very good videos. Maybe we can share it later about how many 5G devices are there and what are their features. So if we look from the ecosystem perspective, technology-wise, there are different players, and service provisioning perspective, there are different players. And I'm sure you are going to be fitted somewhere in this ecosystem, which is very promising for you. If you are working on data, if you are a cloud service provider, or if you are chipset provider. So this is what is the beauty of 5G, that in the whole ecosystem, everybody is going to play their role. Everybody will be the part of it. So now we have discussed the whole thing partially, the performance, the feature of 5G, what are the benefit of 5G, how 5G ecosystem will look like, but where it is going to be used. This is the most interesting part. What are the use cases? So industry have already started working on use cases, different players, or Nokia, Ericsson, telecom providers, few other companies. Even you can come up with some use cases based on your business. So if we look at it, we selected few top use cases. If you look at the slide, the machine-to-machine communication, the interaction between human and machine to machine to human and machine through IoT, through artificial intelligence, it is going to be very massive application use case going to be used by 5G. Then critical control of remote devices. Imagine this COVID-19 has put everybody in the home. If it was implemented earlier, you will be able to control your factory production, or you will be able to control your vehicle and all those things. So this is another use case, and we will discuss it little bit. One of the sector which is really going to change the complete picture of business is media. I don't know how many of you are aware, but people are still not thinking about it. Media, the television, the news, it is going to change completely because of this new feature of 5G. So people will have their own personalized TV channel, and which is already there. You know about very well about people are having Netflix and those services. So 5G is going to play very important role on media. Then of course we know about another application, another use case, smart vehicles, transport and infrastructure already started and working. And then fast data. People always think about it. People talk, is it going to replace completely the fixed wireless network or internet? No, it is not going to do that. But slowly, the internet will be available very easily, and it will be flexible. You can move with your internet subscription from your home to the beach or temporary service. So imagine that is also one of the application, broadband experience everywhere, anytime. And 5G is something which is going to provide you, because it will be available everywhere with the small antennas and all those things. So this is the total use case, okay? And we have just gone through it. Now we have few case studies. This is something very important. There are many case studies. We can have another session about it. I have selected only 2 use cases just to go through it, and just to have an idea about it. So the first one is 5G industrial automation for the manufacturing, mining, construction, health sector. And in today's scenario, it is something which is very much applicable. So industrial automation, because of 5G feature, industries will be more automated with machine to machine and machine to human interaction. How it is going to work? So this is referred to the use of 5G network to provide communication between devices and or machines. It may or may not include the human interaction, but it is going to replace the human being to a certain level, and it will work with the machine and all those things. And dependency is on 5G. And what are the benefits? What are the benefits going to be provided with this case study? So it will have industrial.
Please, your micro.
Okay. Someone forgot. Okay, so benefit we are talking about is the production process, enhanced safety, and so many qualities. So this is just to give you the idea that how it is going to change and how it will affect the industry, for 5G case studies. The second one is next generation transport connectivity. You all know about autonomous car, manless metro, and all those things. And 5G going to change it completely, basically. And there are two type of services which will be provided. One is broadband services on autonomous driving, and the second one is remote assisted driving. So that will also be available. And what are the benefits? Increased mobility, reduced pollution, less commuting time. You will be able to reach quickly to your destination, and public transport will be changed completely, and it will open the new business opportunity. So as I mentioned, there are a lot of case studies. There is no time to discuss about it, and it will be boring also. I'll just show you two more slides related to the topic, and then we'll go further. Try to have a look at the video on the right hand side. It is like it is moving, and you would like it. So can you see it moving, Clement?
Yes.
So this is the example of low latency. I'll just play it again. So this is the tattoo artist sitting somewhere in the globe, and his client is having tattoo on her body sitting somewhere else through robot. And it will happen. Remote surgery, remote connectivity. So it is the mix of creativity with the technology. It will not have any limit. So with 5G technology, it is possible. In the next slide, you can look at the augmented reality. I don't know, people think that sometimes we exaggerate, but it is not exaggeration. You will be sitting at in your home, and you can play football, real football with Ronaldo or Messi. It will be real one, and you will feel like you're playing with him. Or you will be visiting Disneyland without buying a ticket or sitting in the aeroplane because of AR and VR technology. So this is something, you can see this. Gaming is one of the industry which is going to benefit a lot from it in terms of revenue and all those things. So just to review, we just discussed about the business cases and use cases and where it is going to use. If you need to know more, you can be in touch with TMC. We have complete information. We can go one-to-one session about talking about how you're going to benefit from these use cases and how you're going to use it. And we'll be very happy to assist you and provide you the information about it. Now, the most important thing, everybody is thinking, how much money is going to be made through 5G service? This is the most important part, and it is very significant. Again, the source is GSMA. It is based as December 2019. You can see the slide, Clement, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. This slide is based on use cases, technology, in which area 5G going to contribute more from revenue perspective to GDP. So in next 5 years, it is going to contribute $13.1 billion. In which sectors? Virtual reality and meeting. So you can look at it, 14%. Remote object manipulation, which I just discussed in remote industry or automated industry. This is one of the part which is going to get more money from this 5G features. Then industrial automation, 23%. Next generation transport connectivity, 13%. This is in next 5 years, but look at the jump. After that, in next 14 years, 10 to 14 years, $564 billion going to be contributed by 5G to the industry in terms of revenue, in terms of return on investment. And these are very authentic figure. And if you look at the sectors, it is almost same. So you just imagine where you are going to be fitted. For example, if someone is sitting here from data monetization or data services, it can be implemented even in remote object manipulation also. How? Of course, you have to be connected through IoT and artificial intelligence. The data transfer will happen through cloud. So everywhere, don't think that virtual reality is only virtual reality. For data services, for IoT, for everybody, there is a contribution into it. And look at the jump from 13.1 billion to 564 billion. So guys, try to get into this sector, think how you are going to get benefit out of it. And it's a big thing. It is going to change so many things also. So this is from the use cases perspective. What about sectors? This slide is very important. Maybe someone is sitting from financial services here in this webinar, or someone is sitting from manufacturing sectors, or someone is sitting from ICT and trade. So the phenomena is same. We are just showing in last 5 years on the first layer, and then we are showing this one is first layer, and we are showing in next 10 to 14 years how it is going to. So look at this professional and financial services, 25% GDP contribution or revenue contribution is coming from financial and professional services. Health sector, mobile banking, digital banking. Banking is also going to be changed completely. 38% from manufacturing and utilities. And as I mentioned, it is not only for them, it is for someone who is into data, it is for someone who is into programming, it is for someone who is doing deep learning and other things related to artificial intelligence. So if there is a student sitting in this webinar, there is a promising perspective for him also to learn the computer software engineering, or to come up with the artificial intelligence programming, then agriculture, then ICT and trade. So this is something which is also very promising, and and the figure of 565 billion is very big figure and very promising. So this is I just wanted to share about the contribution from revenue perspective. But 5G is not only contributing from revenue perspective. There is a qualitative perspective also. It is going to improve health sector. It is going to increase the independence and autonomy. What is the discussion of the time right now? Talk of the town, remote work, sitting home and working, independence, no need to go to office. Then it is also going to reduce the pollution because of autonomous driving and other things. Education sector is going to be benefited. Everybody is talking how, my daughter is learning online nowadays. She is attending her classes. So this is because of this technology, because of accuracy, because of no latency. It is going to have qualitative effect on education also, healthcare, public sector, shorter commute times. So this is something which is also very important. Now at the end, how much money is going to, as I already discussed, but I'm talking from other perspective, that how much is going to be there in next 5 years from the 5G, Internet of Things. As of 2019, there were 12 billion connected devices of IoT. And it is going to be 100% more in next 5 years. 24.6 billion devices will be connected to IoT. Smartphones, from 65% to 80% penetration. Number of connection, 4G, of course, it is 52%. It will be 56%. One thing is very important. A lot of people think that 4G will be vanished. It will not. All the operators will not go for 5G completely because of investment, because of capex and other things. So 4G will play the role, but 5G will also come up. And in the next one, you can see 20% total connection will be there with 5G also. So it's a mix of 4G and 5G technology which will play the role and which will be there. So this is something which I wanted to share. So at the end, what is the potential and reality? Of course, 5G is not going to change the world overnight, but with time. And whoever is going to catch the bus early will going to be benefited more out of it, because there will be no seat later on in the bus. So just think about it. 5G, as per our discussion, 5G is going to create new business models. Already so many business cases have been there, but new business cases will come based on research, based on technology, based on people thinking. One thing is also important, 5G is going to affect the whole sector, but it is going to provide benefit more to enterprises sector than consumer. This is just the research, but this looks really right, because enterprises section will get more out of it. So at the end, it is an opportunity for everybody. Try to get into it, try to have your share out of it, and get something out of it. So thank you very much. I'm very thankful to you. I know it was just a discussion or something not very interactive, but I'm very sure you got some idea out of it, and you have something. I'm handing over to Clement. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Ishtiaq. Thank you very much. We will turn now into some question. I have already a few questions lining up. What is going to happen is I'm going to call your name out, and you will ask your question, and I will start now. So Vivi, you had a question. If you can unmute and ask your question, a tricky one, but
yeah.
Is Vivi on the line? Otherwise, I'll ask the question. Yeah, I mean the question from Vivi was, how come places without 5G have almost cases in COVID-19? She was asking the link between COVID-19 and 5G.
Yeah.
Could 5G will affect the health of the people?
Yeah, this is okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Who asked the question? Bina, right? Yeah. Okay. The thing is this, this is something which is called, the conspiracy theory, and people are thinking 5G is something which is completely new. I mentioned earlier, 5G is the evolution of the GSM network. Whatever is the health effect of 1G, 2G, 3G, or 4G, the same health effect is going to be there with 5G. Maybe a little bit different. So have you ever heard someone has been infected because of 4G network or GSM network? This is the same thing which people talk about. I'm talking based on the health research and finding recent one. So there is no such effect. It is just the conspiracy theory. I have few materials on it. I have few other things also which can be shared through TMC on individual basis. So it will give you the whole idea about this question.
Good. Thank you very much, Ishtiaq. We have also a question from Ziad. Don't know, Ziad, if you are on the line, if you can hear me.
I'm on the line.
Great.
Yes, feel free to. Thank you. So my question, first of all, thank you very much for the session. It was extremely informative. My question is around, obviously, with this financial crisis that's taking place with the COVID-19, and I was just reading today, they were talking about the UK government saying that the economy will drop by about 14% this year alone. So you probably don't have the answer off the top of your head. What do you think would be the impact on this investment and then obviously adoption of 5G?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Okay, your name is Ziad, right?
Sayed.
Sayed, okay. Sayed, actually, I mentioned in my presentation earlier, fortunately, telecom sector is one of the sector which has not been affected economically or in terms of revenue because of COVID-19. But still, they will be careful. Whatever investment were planned earlier, it is not going to be there. So there will be delay in 5G deployment in places and in, you know, so of course, in my opinion, it is going to affect the investment in terms of 5G. It is going to affect the service provisioning and other things also, but not on that level, which is happening, which is going to happen in other sectors, because for telecom and MNOs, they are still performing very well. But it is going to affect, and you know, they will think about it. They will review their plan, investment plan, and they will go very intelligently that where to invest and how to invest. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have also a question from Brian. I don't know if Brian is on the line.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you very much for the presentation. That was much appreciated. Speaking about investments, I know there's a lot of companies presently involved in 5G.
Yeah.
If you had to invest in only one 5G company going forward for the next 5 years, which one would it be? Thank you.
You know, it's the question is a bit tricky if you ask me frankly, because you know, you can't say. Everybody would be thinking that their sector is going to be very promising, and you know, but in my opinion and whatever I have studied till now, the IoT and artificial intelligence, you know, people are already investing a lot on it, and it is going to connect others also. You know, what is the beauty about it? Data, cloud, and all those services are depending, are also playing their role. So in my opinion, the IoT and artificial intelligence is one of the industry which is going to invest a lot on the ecosystem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We don't have if we don't have other question.
Yeah.
I have a question about esports, the effect on esports, if possible. Just a quick one.
Can you speak up a little bit because it's difficult to hear you?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So my question revolves around esports. Esports is, you know, it's part of gaming, but it's, you know, the big events that, you know, where you use a lot of PCs and you organize big events and you generate a lot of content, and there's a lot of live streaming involved.
Yeah.
A lot of telecom operators are looking into it, the likes of STC, the likes of Zain, and I'm talking on a regional level. So I wanted to know, and latency is a huge problem because a large chunk of the league, or what we call the season, happens online. Right. So if you form a team and you compete, you contend against other teams online before you qualify to the quarterfinals and to the finale that happens face to face. Now, in that phase, latency plays a big role. I wanted to know, in the MENA specifically, if you have any indication on how fast the adoption of 5G is going to be, namely in Saudi Arabia and in the UAE. If you have any indication of sorts.
Okay. Your question has two parts. I'll reply the second one. In terms of implementation, I was in Saudi. I did one of the consultancy also mentioned by Clement. They have already started the 5G, but mostly for the fastest data and all those things, internet and all those things. The specific question about this event and having live streaming and all those things, still it is under the, you know, the consideration. Ericsson and few other players, because there are a lot of other players in the ecosystem, they are working on it. I think it will take a little bit time to say that when it is going to be available quickly, especially for broadcasting and other things. So at the moment it is in the testing mode, or the companies and technology providers and the operators, they are working on it. But in terms of 5G implementation, it is already, you know, it is there, and in UAE and in Saudi, it is already implemented in few places. And
right,
we can provide you more information offline about it. I have few documents and few research on
I'd love that. I'd love
Yeah.
that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Shander. Any more question? No? So everyone, I would like to thank you very much for joining us today. It was really a pleasure to have you all. So take care, stay safe, and we hope to see you really soon. And if you have any question regarding Ishtiaq or TMC, I will be happy to connect offline, obviously. So thank you very much, everyone. And yeah, stay safe, stay close to your family.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care.